And welcome, everybody, to the Inland Sports Show. It's Wednesday night, usually 6:05 first pitch, going a little bit early tonight. We got a big show coming your way. Right around the corner, we're going to talk boys volleyball with Roosevelt High School. Some of the guys will be in to check in about the upcoming season. And, you know, this wacky new CIF calendar, boys and girls volleyball, kind of crossing over at the same time. What are the coaches going to do? Sharing the gym with basketball, all kinds of stuff. So we'll talk Roosevelt High School boys basketball, boys volleyball, and also, so if you've seen on Twitter and social media already that California Baptist University has some of their teams already on campus, they're already practicing, but a lot of the stuff is outdoors right now, including the basketball teams. We've got an exclusive interview with women's head coach Jarrod Olson. I talked to him last night, and he said all of the players for his women's basketball team are back on campus, and that includes a lot of their international players. They've got players from Australia, from Spain, all over the place, but they're finally all back in Riverside at CBU, and they're doing practices, but again, outdoor. They're using an outdoor basketball court, and they've also got a beach volleyball sand pit that they've been doing some training in as well. So they're being innovative, trying to find ways to get ready for the upcoming season, because if you remember, right now, the Western Athletic Conference has not ruled out starting basketball on time. The fall sports have been postponed. Hopefully they'll play them in the spring, but basketball, which would start in November, they're holding out hope that they could start on time. So that's why the basketball teams at CBU are staying ready. But right now, leading off the show, he's one of our favorites, all the way live from Reno, Nevada. He is the quarterback from Valley View High School. He's a quarterback at RCC, a state champion as well. It's Jacob Barlage. And Jacob, first off, thanks for joining the show. I really do appreciate it. You're up there.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, you're up there at the University of Nevada already, and you guys were doing some workouts, and then you had to pull back a little bit. So what's going on right now with the Wolfpack football team?
Right now, we're just kind of in workouts. I'm trying to figure out what the NCAA is going to allow us to do. I think next week we're trying to do some player run practices and stuff like that.
So you were saying off camera that you've been up there in Reno about a month and a half, and there was at one point you guys were getting ready for fall practice. You had the helmets and pads out, and then you guys had to tail it back a little bit?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So, what's it like right now, just kind of, I guess, being in limbo, not necessarily knowing what's going to happen, and, you know, you guys, again, getting ready for fall camp, and then they said, you know, the Mountain West was going to postpone football, and then, you know, you're trying to do workouts, and now you can't do anything at this point. Is it tough, you know, being a football player, feeling like, dude, it's the end of August, we should be getting ready for the season, we should be doing something right now?
Yeah, it's super tough, especially since, you know, we're just getting information as it's coming. We don't know. One day we could be practicing, like last week we were practicing and then smoke hit. And then the week before we were practicing and the season canceled. And it's just right now we're taking it as it goes, trying to get all the information we can. But it's super weird being in the end of August and not getting ready to play a game on a Saturday.
So you recently signed with Nevada, and you probably got up there thinking, man, this is going to be great. Division I college football in the Mountain West Conference, which is unbelievable. I love the Mountain West for college football. And then when you got up there, I'm sure Reno's a great place, but you'd probably rather be on the field with your teammates trying to get ready for a game, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah. I'd much rather be on the field right now.
So, Jacob, when you first got up there, I know a lot of teams, even here locally, you know, like I was talking about CBU a moment ago, they've got all these, you know, COVID-19 protocol, checking, you know, temperature and quarantining before you rejoin the team and social distancing. Was practice just a little bit different than normal up there at Nevada when you were, you know, when you first joined the team, trying to get, you know, acclimated and get to know them? Where they, you know, was practice like, hey, we can only have so many guys in a group, or you got to stay over there, or temperature checks? Was there anything just different about practice?
Yeah, there's a lot different about practice. You can't, you know, there's a 10-minute limit in the locker room. You got to get in, get your stuff on, and get out of there. Your temperature's getting checked every day. We get tested once a week. And then when that test comes in, if you're negative, you get a wristband every day that's colored for a certain day, so they know that you can be there. And then on that practice, every coach has like a 6-foot stick, and it's super weird. So they walk around, and if you're standing close to each other, they kind of poke you like, hey, back away from them. You know, just trying to make sure we're all socially distant. And then when we're meeting with groups, it's really weird not like being on a knee in a giant group in the middle of the field. It's weird being in a giant circle.
Yes, things are definitely different right now for football practices. The Mountain West came out and said that, they're going to postpone football. Fingers crossed, maybe we'll see you guys out there on the field in the spring. Is it tough not being able to, just like we said, be out there at practice right now, feel like you're getting ready for a game, because we are in football season. It's all a little strange right now, but are you staying optimistic that you guys will be able to play some games this upcoming season?
I'm staying optimistic. I don't really have any answers. Nobody's given us any answers. But, I'm really optimistic for anything this season. Even if we have to play a condensed spring season and then go into the fall and play a full season, I'm ready for that. I'm just trying to get better, get my body where I want it to be, and enjoy my time up here right now.
Well, Jacob, obviously local football fans are kind of familiar with your career, what you did at Valley View High School, leading the Eagles to a CIF Southern Section Championship, and actually a state title game. People forget, in Moreno Valley, the city of Moreno Valley had a state championship game when you guys hosted Bishop O'Dowd, wasn't it? I think it was?
Yes, sir.
So you guys had a state championship game at Valley View High School, Moreno Valley. Then you get to RCC, and you guys go undefeated, and you win a state championship. Dude, you've won everywhere you go. Are you planning to win again at Nevada?
Always. You always plan to win. I haven't lost a game in I don't know how long, and I'm planning to keep that thing going for as long as I can.
Jake, what's the mindset like? What's the secret recipe in having that championship mentality? Because again, you won at the high school level, you won at the JC level. You're going to a Nevada team that should be pretty good as well. Is there a secret ingredient? Like, if there's high school football players watching this show right now, like what would be your advice? What would you say is that key component of just having that expectation that when we take the field, we're always going to have a chance. We're going to have a chance to win, and having that confidence.
To me, it's always making sure you have all the little details corrected, whether it's, as a wide receiver, am I false stepping on my release as a quarterback? And how's my drop? Where am I in the pocket as an O-lineman? All right, who am I blocking on this play? Just all the little details add up. And especially on the offensive side of the ball, everybody has to know their assignment. The tackle could, miss his block and the whole play could be ruined. It could be a touchdown in the back end, but somebody could be unblocked and it could be a sack instead of a touchdown. This is all the little things, especially in football. You just got to make sure you know what you are doing on a certain play and know how you're supposed to do it, and all the little details that go into everything.
Yeah, definitely those little things, those details. And Jake, here you are at the University of Nevada, Division I college football. Again, if there's a high school quarterback or a youth quarterback watching the show, talk about maybe your story. Like, were you heavily recruited coming out of Valley View? Did you think you could play Division I college football? The kind of work you had to put in to get to this point right now to play for the Wolfpack?
I wasn't really heavily recruited out of high school at all. I had 0 offers from anywhere. Nobody offered me no NAIA, Division III, nothing. And then, but I was working every day. I would throw with our quarterback coach that we got my senior year. I'd throw with him 2-3 times a week. And then I'd go work out on my own. I graduated early, so I'd go lift at RCC, come back with my dad and help him coach a little bit, just kind of standing off to the side, help his young guys. Just always trying to keep my game, especially in the mental side, sharp. Because playing quarterback's not really being physical. You're not going to get 50 chances to run the ball and run people over and make them miss. You're going to get 50 chances a game, more likely to throw the ball and make people miss mentally, make the linebacker, go the wrong way, or make the safety, go to the opposite side of the field and throw a big fade for a touchdown and get the whole crowd riled up.
Well, Jake, so when you get to RCC, did you feel like, even though you balled at Valley View, you were a stud at Valley View, but when you got to RCC, did you feel like still there was a chip on your shoulder? Like, I still got something to prove. Like, I had a great high school career, but here I am at RCC. I've still got something to prove. I got to show all these people who maybe passed on you that you could still play.
Oh, yeah, I always have a chip on my shoulder no matter what. Every time I'm working out, I always think about all the people that told me, I was too slow or too short or too whatever. I've just always had that little chip on my shoulder about, hey, you told me that I couldn't do this, and now watch what I'm going to do.
How gratifying was it then at RCC, not only winning a state championship, the mythical national title, you guys went undefeated. I mean, you ran the table and you beat some really good teams along the way. I mean, obviously winning the title is great, but did you kind of enjoy just the ride, that journey to get to that point throughout the entire season?
Oh, you always got to enjoy playing football. You can't make it seem like a job or anything. I enjoyed last season through every up and down, through everything, through playing with Mike Irwin, who's an amazing guy. I love him. You got to a point in the season where I took over and I said, all right, this is mine and I'm not going to give it up. And the magical season in the end, I was losing my mind. I couldn't believe, especially watching RCC. I mean, especially watching them the year before in the stands, losing to Ventura. I told my dad, actually going through that game, that I was going to win it the next year. I kind of wanted them to lose so I could be the first one to win it and then win the state championship. And it's just a year later, looking at the state championship trophy, it just all came full.
Hey, so your dad is obviously a longtime coach in the area, including at RCC. How special was it to do that for the Tigers, and knowing your dad's ties to local coaching and RCC to bring home that state title?
Man, it was so special, just being able to show like everybody, like, hey, I'm from Moreno Valley, Valley View High School. They didn't win a CIF title before I got there. And then being able to do that and then showing everybody like, hey, Valley View guys, we got what it takes to win national championships outside of high school.
Jacob, how do you approach a quarterback competition? Because you went into RCC last year, and like you said, Mike Irwin, who's a great quarterback as well. Maybe you went into the season really not knowing, like, am I going to play this year at all? Can I fight for the starting job? And here we are at the end of the season, state title. What was it? State championship game MVP, undefeated season, and now you find yourself at Nevada, and I'm sure there's a crowded quarterback room. I mean, how do you approach just that competition of wanting to be that number one guy, or at least preparing like you are the starter in case you get the call?
Well, you said you just got to prepare like you're the starter every day. You always got to go in every day competing. You can't relax at all. You can't I'm going to take this day off, or I'm going to take this rep off. You got to always stay competing in everything you do. And I always compete in everything. Like, I compete in the weight room. If they're putting on a 5, I'm like, all right, I'm going to put on a 5. All right. Hey, they're getting depth on their squat, I'm going to get down there on my squat too. It's just always competing in the little things, which helps me a lot, because when I get out on the field and start competing, it's just normal to me.
Plus, it makes it fun, right? It makes practice fun when you're competing and you find ways to kind of motivate yourself. I think Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all the great ones, they find a way to motivate themselves, right?
Yes, sir.
Jacob, I'm just curious, who was a quarterback that you looked up to? College, NFL, who was a guy that you looked up to growing up? You're like, man, that's a good quarterback. Maybe it was because he made good decisions. Maybe it was his athletic ability. Who was a guy that you looked up to?
I mean, it's changed a lot. When I was little, growing up as a San Diego Chargers fan, I was a Phillip Rivers fan. And then when they moved to LA, I became a Matt Stafford fan. And then when I really got into the nitty gritty of football and the real mental side, I started becoming a big Tom Brady fan, because it was well, he really knows what to do with the football, who his guys are, what combinations get open against certain coverages. I was just in awe, because I was like, that's what I want to be one day.
Maybe my eyesight's going bad, but I think you kind of actually look a little bit like Phillip Rivers. Have you heard that before?
I've never heard that one before.
Well, tonight you did. Jake, listen, man, I always appreciate the time. Thanks for catching up with us, and keep up that great work at the University of Nevada. And, hopefully we'll see you guys on the field, even just practicing again sometime soon, and we'll get that college football season going at some point. Hopefully, fingers crossed, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's Jacob Barlage, formerly of Valley View High School, RCC. He is a CIF champion, a state champion with the Tigers, and now at the University of Nevada Wolfpack. Jake, always appreciate it, man, and let's stay in touch for sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks, Jake. That's Jacob Barlage out of Valley View and RCC. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. We are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Roosevelt boys volleyball. We'll be right back.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for. I'm busy. I got things to do. But I really need an oil change. I just need something fast and affordable. Well, I'm right off the 91 in Arlington. Let's go check out Spoiled. And they even got a 10-minute oil change special. I love it.
And then lastly, how do you
Stickers up, lights reset on day 1.
Okay, looks like you're all set.
Have a good one.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for everything.
Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change right off the 91 freeway at Arlington.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taken care of, whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. We have customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time. And then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Hey guys, Pep Fernandez here from the Inland Sports Show. First and foremost, I hope everyone out there and their families are healthy and safe right now. I know we all want sports to come back. We want to see them sooner than later, and the quickest way to do that is by simply wearing a face covering. The County of Riverside has a website called pledgetofightcovid.com. In fact, it's on your screen right now. And basically, we just want people to pledge that if you wear a mask, if you social distance, if you wash your hands frequently, that is the quickest way to get kids back in school, get people back to work. And again, I know it's not the most important thing, but we all love sports and we want to see them sooner than later. We have a lot of Inland Sports masks. I know I'm not getting out quite as often as I'd like a lot of you out there, but when I do, we will start distributing a lot of these masks. We got ours at Ken's Sporting Goods. There's the website on your screen. If you're a local business, maybe an organization,
a school or a team, you can get yours as well. That's kensportinggoods.com. And again, if you want local sports to return, we got to do 3 things. Cover your face, maintain your space, and wash your hands just in case. As we move to baseball, I got to give a quick shout out, not because he's a Mariner, and I know you're a Mariner guy, Patrick, but Taijuan Walker, the pride of Yucaipa High School, on the bump for the Mariners against the Dodgers last night. He gave up 3 early solo home runs, but man, he bounced back and he locked the Dodgers up the rest of the way, and he got the win last night, 6-4.
I love it, man, because he's been a Mariner before, and he went away, and he came back. And also, I know I always give a shout-out to the homie right over here at the gas station. He's one of his best friends he went to high school with. He was like, because he saw my Mariner shirt one day, and he was like, do you know Walker? And I was like, no. He goes, oh, that's my homie. I was like, so shout-out to the gas station homie, because his boy just got us a win.
See, you know what, man? When you're from the Inland Empire, we never forget that we always root for our own. That's awesome.
No, absolutely.
Sports.
And that was my KCAL 96.7 FM sports update. In fact, I will be on again tomorrow morning, every Monday and Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Although I actually record it at about 6:30, 6:40 in the morning. I got to admit, I looked awful. I had huge bags under my eyes. I can't believe I get up super early. I'm like the only one up that early in the entire world, but I'm up. I'm doing the radio, so you can check it out every Monday and Thursday on KCAL 96.7 FM at 8:30, talking national sports, local sports, all of the good stuff. A shout out to my guys, 40 and Patrick in the mornings on KCAL. Okay, so now we go from college football to high school volleyball. We got the Roosevelt Mustangs boys team here on the show, and I got to say, very active on social media, which I absolutely love. They always keep the Inland Sports Show up to date on what they've been up to, and they've been up to some big things, winning some league titles out there. Join us on the show, Anthony Amaya, Ryan Williams, and Coach Jerry Langarica here on the Inland Sports Show. We'll go with Coach Jerry first. And Coach, first off, thank you for making time for us on the Inland Sports Show to hop on and talk a little boys volleyball tonight.
No, thank you guys for having us.
All right, Coach, who does the social media? Is it you? Is it someone on your staff? Who does ERHS boys volleyball?
It's me. Yeah, it's me.
You are.
I got to when I find some time in there. Thank you.
Well, hey, you guys are all over the place. I love the video highlights. I'm a very visual person. You know, I need something more than just a tweet. I need some video highlights or something like that. So you guys are doing a great job with that.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, let's talk some Roosevelt boys volleyball. The Mustangs coming off a Big 8 league title. And before we look on the horizon of what's to come for Roosevelt boys volleyball, let's go back to this past season, because boys volleyball, if you're not familiar, I know you are, but if a viewer's watching, it's a spring sport. And we had our spring sports cut short here in the Inland Empire. How tough was it? Because I know you had a really special group. How tough was it to have your season, pull the plug on the season and not get a chance to see what you guys could really do?
To be completely honest, it really, caught us off guard. We were really excited. We had just got the ball rolling with the season. We were coming off from a league title. We had the majority of starters back, and we were able to go to Vegas and finish top 10 again, which just kind of gave us hope for our season. And we had heard about our league, and everybody was strong, and it was going to be an exciting year. And we were, to be honest, we were ready to get that second league title, and we were ready to fight it. So it really sucked, and because that group, the majority of them, 6 of them were 4-year seniors, and the other ones, the other 4 were 3-year athletes. So it really, I think what sucked the most was not being able to give them a nice send-off, and it was just so unexpected.
You talk about coming off a Big 8 league championship and trying to do it again this past season. What about even, a CIF title run? Did you feel like this team had, something special about it? It could go deep in the playoffs?
Well, you know what, that Monday, that week that they had told us that Friday that we weren't going to practice or we were out for 2 weeks. That very Monday, we had just come back from Vegas, and we got a chance to play Crescentia Valley for the silver championship, which on that polls from that Monday, they were ranked number 2 in CIF Division III. And the cool thing was that we actually had match point against them. So we were right there with them. So I was all excited. Hey, we just got, we pushed this team to 3 and they're ranked, other coaches think they're ranked number 2 in our division. That was some really good news and some really good motivation for us. And, we were all excited. I was excited for the boys.
And then, we got a couple players on the line. We're going to get to them in just a second. But like you said, that was a senior-heavy team, right? So you've only got a couple guys returning for next year's squad, and we're going to talk to a couple of them in just a moment. But when you look ahead to next year's team, what do you like about this squad that's coming back?
Well, I think the JV team that we had this year was a very talented one, and I'm very, very, very excited for them. My kids, I don't want to say my kids, but the seniors that graduated, they never liked me that I compared them. But there was a lot of freshmen and I see a lot of potential in them. And at the point where the current seniors the alumni that just graduated, at the point that they were when they were freshmen, these kids that we have now, most of them are going to end up on varsity and coming up, they actually reached a little bit, they're at a little bit more advanced level than what the seniors that just graduated. So I'm very, very excited that they're going to get to come in and fill in some big shoes. And I mean, we have some good leadership that is coming back. So I'm really, really excited.
All right, Coach, I'll come back to you in just a second, but we got a couple of your players on the line as well. Let me go to Ryan Williams first. And Ryan, again, such a senior heavy team from a year ago, and now yourself and Anthony are going to be, I guess, the leaders going forward. Talk about how do you kind of see yourself in your role for this upcoming team, knowing that there's going to be so many young guys coming up?
My freshman year, I was on varsity, and it was a junior and senior heavy team, and I want to be like they were to me. Just the role model, the type of player I want to be. They showed me good work ethic, what it meant to be a good teammate, all of that. And I want to be that to the upcoming varsity kids.
Do you have an extra, fire in your belly, I guess, is the sports cliche, because, last season you guys were so good and you had such high expectations, and then he didn't even get a chance to finish the season? Do you feel like, man, we got to come back with some vengeance this year because, what you guys left on the table last year, you got to come back even stronger this year?
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree with that. We had a very strong team last year. The class of 2022 was a very good year for us. And, my club season also got canceled, and I was looking forward to going to Reno this year and competing in the Junior National Championship. And, with everything in COVID, it was just a real bummer,
So, Ryan, what have you been up to? You just in the backyard hitting a ball against the fence, or what have you been up to stay ready?
I've played hours upon hours of beach volleyball. I've been going down to Newport Beach and just practicing my beach volleyball skills. I've been playing some indoor recently, some different clubs, just trying to get into the gym whenever I can.
Well, let me go to Anthony now. And Anthony, same thing for you. Like, what are some things that you can do, even if just on your own, to kind of feel like you're improving and getting better for that season, which seems so far away right now, but it will come up at some point?
Yeah, so I've gone with Ryan and a couple of the JV kids. We've gone to we have sand courts at a park around where we play, and we've gone a couple times during quarantine to go play and practice. I've also gone with the past seniors that have just graduated. We've played volleyball at one of their houses, or even to the beach, and just been playing, trying to keep active.
Anthony, because of this, a Big 8 league championship the previous season, and this year that was just cut short, I feel like this Roosevelt team being the team to beat in the Big 8 league, do you feel like this program is building confidence and building momentum? And like Coach was saying, the expectations might be, okay, first win a league title, which you guys did. Now it's okay, CIF, how far can we go to CIF? The program's taking that next step to continue getting better and better and better. Do you kind of see it that same way too?
Yeah. I've been playing since my freshman year, and ever since then, I feel more confident every year that that we'll be like closer to winning CIF.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, how were you introduced to volleyball?
It was actually from one of my cousins I met at a family reunion. She played volleyball, like her whole family plays volleyball. And she had a volleyball court set up, so she invited me to play. I started playing, and ever since then, I tried out for the team for the volleyball, and I've loved it ever since.
All right, let me go back to Coach Jerry. Maybe Coach Jerry and I can play Ryan and Anthony on the beach down in Newport Beach, Top Gun style. Coach Jerry and I we go out there, no shirts, diving around in the sand. We'll go 2-on-2 against Anthony and Ryan. But, Coach, what are some things that you think you could do the couple of months to kind of get ready? I know, we've got some public health guidelines that, you can do some sort of workouts and practicing. What are some things you think you can do as a team maybe in the next couple of months to kind of get ready for the season?
Well, I think we have we are very lucky at Roosevelt that we have a 6-period class, which is Coach Carr, who's also the head varsity coach, and he's working with the guys. He gives them workouts so they can do at home. There's a lot of things you can do with volleyball. There's a lot of knowledge that you can learn on your own at home, and then put it to practice on the court. And I want to add this a little bit, because last night I was able to catch a little bit of the board meeting, where there were ADs from our district, and they were talking to the board about, the plan that they were coming up with, which I'm very thankful, because they were there representing us, the athletes and students, and they were exactly talking about that, how we all want to get back, but how do we do it the safest way? How do we do it where, with the guidelines to keeping the distance and making sure that, yes, we can play, but that way staying healthy. But I mean, there's a ton of things to do with the volleyball at home. And so, yeah.
Coach, what do you think the spring is going to look like? Because, we're going to have volleyball, we're going to have basketball. Like, we took the whole CIF high school season and we squeezed it in between basically January and May. Like, do you think, like gym time and, I don't know if coaches are spread out, or if you've got any athletes who, play different sports, that might be an issue because it's the same time as volleyball now. Like, do you just see like there could be some challenges in the spring?
I think so. I think there's definitely going to be challenges. But I think the cool thing is that, as coaches, we teach teamwork. No matter what the sport is, we teach teamwork. And I think so far we've done a pretty good job, especially like scheduling stuff. And I think that goes across, our area. And I think it doesn't matter what the coach is. It doesn't matter what the sport is. I think we all we want to have a season. And so we're doing our part, and we're going to do whatever it takes. If we're going to have to, like they said last night, maybe somebody's, going to use this part of the gym, or if someone's available, they can go outside of the gym, and maybe like us, we have grass courts, or there's sand courts in the area. We're going to do whatever it takes, so we can have a season, because I think that's the priority. The priority is we want to see our kids back on the court. We want to see our kids competing. We want to, interact with our kids. And I think we all have, no matter the coach, we all have that in the front. And, scheduling and all that stuff, I think we're all going to be a little bit more flexible, and I think we're all going to understand.
And Coach, finally, I wanted to ask you about, playing in the spring and getting ready for, another season. And again, the last 2 years have been great for Roosevelt boys volleyball, but what's the secret ingredient? How did you guys rise up and become so successful so fast? What's it about the program that you guys have been able to win a league championship and, like you said, compete with some really good teams, including at the Las Vegas Invitational?
To be honest with you, I think we're blessed at Roosevelt that we have some amazing kids that come out, and they just want to learn how to play. Many of them, over 90%. I'll put it over 95%, and it's probably the same around in our local schools, have never played volleyball before. They've seen it, they've watched it, but what it takes is students to come out who want to be part of the team, because that's what volleyball is. Its big rule is you can't touch the ball twice in a row, so you can't do everything on your own. You're going to have to be able to share responsibilities, and I think we've just been blessed with kids that come out and they they get with the program and they want to work hard and they work hard. And, before all this COVID happened, they're out there in the summer. We're out there in the summer. And during workouts, we're in the fall, we're always staying active. And the kids that I have, they know that. They know they have to put themselves to the side, and it's about teams. So that's a huge thing of why we've been successful, and I'm very thankful for that.
And you guys dominate social media. Keep up that great work as well. I think we just lost Coach Langarica. Oh, no, he's back.
I'm good.
No, he's back. He's back, everybody.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. But, Coach, I appreciate your time. And Johnny Nunez, our director, if you could punch all the guys up right now. I just want to say Ryan and Anthony and Coach Jerry, thank you guys so much for coming on. Keep up the great work on the court. Keep up the great work on social media. And, and fingers crossed we will have a boys volleyball season coming up on the CIF calendar. So thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. And best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Having us.
Thank you.
All right, that is Roosevelt boys volleyball here on the Inland Sports Show. So Coach Jerry and I against Ryan and Anthony, beach volleyball, winner take all, 2-on-2. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, California Baptist women's basketball coach Jarrod Olson. The Lancers are practicing right now outdoors. We'll talk about that when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
What I think separates Boost from a lot of other performance gyms out there is really our attention to detail with our athletes. We have small group sessions, whether it's speed or strength training, by CSCS coaches, so you're getting collegiate level coaches in a small group setting. And it really gives us an opportunity to build an intimate relationship with our athletes, really make sure they're hitting their goals. I know all my athletes by name. It's a real family-like environment. We're a tight-knit gym with expert coaching, but we like it that way because we want to ensure that all of our athletes are getting better, all of our athletes are moving forward. So it's definitely not easy. We push our athletes, we have fun, but if you're the kind of athlete that likes to be pushed and you want to get better, you care about results, you got to come check us out.
Billy here from Spoiled in Riverside. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington in Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. Big thanks to Coach Langarica, Coach Jerry from Roosevelt High School, and Ryan Williams and Anthony Amaya. Some great ones out of the Roosevelt boys volleyball program. Join us here on the show. They had a great season when they won a league title. Then last year they were off to a great start, then had it cut short. But they got Anthony and Ryan coming back and some young up-and-comers. So exciting to see what the Mustangs are doing out there in Eastvale. Now we pivot towards college basketball and women's college basketball at California Baptist University. Again, Roosevelt's awesome on social media. So are the Lancers, #LanceUp. So if you follow the Lancers, you will notice that they have been actually practicing for a couple weeks. The teams, many of them, I should say, are back on campus. They're practicing. But again, special modifications. They're doing things just a little bit differently, including for basketball. They are on the outdoor courts or using the sand volleyball pit to do some training and workout and get ready for the upcoming season. Because again, the Western Athletic Conference has not ruled out starting basketball on time with the first games in November. They postponed fall sports, but basketball is a winter sport, so maybe we'll see the Lancers on the floor come November. Here's our exclusive interview with CBU women's basketball coach Jarrod Olson. Now join us on the Inland Sports Show. He is the head women's basketball coach at California Baptist University, and he's always a friend of the show, always makes time for us, and we couldn't be more happy to have Jarrod Olson checking in on the program. And Coach, I wanted to bring you on because I've been liking all of the CBU posts online because you guys are out there outside putting in the work right now at CBU. So you're doing like these workouts, these practices, but outdoors. How are those going for you?
You know, it's been a little interesting. Riverside's weather sometimes doesn't cooperate very good with an outdoor workout, but, we've done quite a bit of stuff out on the outdoor basketball court as well as, the sand volleyball court. We got a little stretch of cement we've kind of done some weight stuff on where we've kind of brought some equipment outside, but we're just trying to do our best to kind of follow the guidelines and keep us as safe, keep the athletes as safe as possible. Because, that's the number one goal we have is just to keep the girls safe. But at the same time, I feel like we're taking good measures and being appropriate with what we're doing as far as the workouts go.
So maybe it's not necessarily ideal, but just to have the team together doing workouts, how fun has it been just to have, your team back together and doing something as a team?
Yeah, it's been great. CBU is the kind of place where, you take a problem and you look for solutions instead of, so we're trying to figure out how to make this work instead of how to make it not work. And, we're testing the girls pretty regularly. We've been doing a lot of education on what it would take to be safe. But honestly, it has been a blast just having them there. And you can see it, every day with the work ethic the girls have and just the attitudes, just a real thankfulness that they're able to participate. Because I think everybody feels the same way all across society. It's like everybody's had something kind of taken away from them. And when you get a little piece of that back, you're just really thankful and appreciative of what that means. And we're very thankful to CBU for giving us that opportunity.
I'm sure it's hot out there, but do you find yourself just really soaking in the moment and enjoying it?
Yes. Soaking is there's a lot of sweat that's happening. And I throw a lot of sunscreen on every day. I'm kind of pale, I'm bald, so I got a hat on. We're sunscreening it up and we're just making the best of it. And like I said, we're pretty thankful. It kind of toughens us up a little bit. It's, lots of times I think we take for granted the great facilities we have at CBU, and when those are taken away, we're just going to make the most of it. And I think we've done a good job with that.
So, Coach, you mentioned the outdoor basketball court, the sand volleyball court. What does an outdoor workout for CBU women's basketball look like right now? What are some of the things that you can do?
It looks a lot like you're walking past a CrossFit workout sometimes. There's just a lot of randomness. Michael Robinson is our strength and conditioning coach, and he's been getting really creative with things. Yesterday they were doing the team was divided up into two, and they all had it was a large med ball. It was heavy, and they were holding it above their head and they were racing, like a little kid's relay race with it. And in the sand, and you could just see sand kicking up and stuff like that. It was pretty intense, so they're really working. And Michael's done a great job of being creative and keeping it fresh. And every day, you don't know you're gonna walk into, but every day they walk out and they are tired, and I think they're getting better for it.
Now, Coach, also I wanted to ask you, with these outdoor workouts, you've got international players from all over the place. Was everyone able to get back to Riverside and California Baptist about the same time? Were there players still kind of trickling in because of maybe travel restrictions?
Yeah. So today was the first day we had everybody there. And we have kids from Australia, Spain, and it's a pretty diverse group. And so, there were some kids that took a little longer to get here, and some of the visa hurdles they had to jump over were pretty intense, but they were able to, assistant coaches were doing a good job helping them. Our international admissions department at CBU were helping, pretty instrumental in that too. And I think that the girls themselves had to do, really stay on top of stuff, and they were determined to get here because they wanted to be here. And, we gave everybody the option, like they didn't have to come, if they didn't want to. You can opt out, of the year if you want to stay home, if you don't feel it's safe. And they all opted in and they're all happy to be there. And yeah, today was the first day they're all here. And so we were pretty happy that we had a full squad.
And that's awesome. They all opted in. They all want to play basketball. They all want to be at CBU. They all want to see the season happen, which finally, Coach, my last question for you is, we saw the Western Athletic Conference cancel, hopefully just postpone the fall sports, but they didn't rule out basketball potentially starting on time. Are you trying to stay optimistic maybe that we'll have basketball games in November?
I'm much more optimistic now than I was a month ago. The NCAA is going to come out in about 3 weeks with an announcement. They're going to have a plan in place for everybody. We have a WAC coaches meeting, I think, next week to kind of go over some of that stuff as well. But I'm pretty optimistic. I just think the way the testing has improved, throughout the country, the NBA has been a real, leader in that. And I think with some of the stuff they've done in their bubble, I think it's going to start to trickle down to some places. And we're pretty optimistic that we're going to get to play, and we're really hopeful too, because I think we have a really good group, and I'm really excited to hopefully see them out there on the court. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see you guys on the court too, because I think you really do have a really special team coming back and a lot of great returning players. And based on what you did last year, man, we're excited about what the potential looks like for expectations this upcoming year. That is head coach Jarrod Olson, CBU women's basketball. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. Coach, I always appreciate the time. I think your family's back there saying it's dinner time.
They were yelling. I apologize for that. It's just welcome to 2020 in the Zoom interview, right?
Hey,
a little flavor for everything.
We're a family show, and I think we've done multiple interviews where the coach would have their son or daughter sitting on their lap as we're doing the interview. So it's par for the course right now, so it's all good.
Hey, just keep rolling with it, right?
That is Coach Olson. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. And a big thanks to Coach Olson, always a great sport and coming on the show. And again, hopefully we'll have some hoops come in November. We're going to take one more commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for.
know, I mean, I always tell, my student athletes that, hey, gains are gains. It's everyone's where they're at, and all you have to worry about is making those small improvements. I see, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I see kids who start off, slow and end up being really good, and talented student athletes, and I see others who start off really fast and they end up, petering out. And a lot of that has to do with, the hype of being a young student athlete and having all this shine, all this glory, and then you stop working. So, and I hate that. I feel like that's one of the things as a coach you have to, really hammer into your athletes that, it's a journey, and starting in high school or even making it to college, it's just all part of the journey, but not the destination. The destination is growth. Destination is to keep moving forward. What I do want to see is I want to see them grow. I want to see them grow academically. I want to see them to grow physically. And as long as we get that growth, they're gonna see some change. They're gonna be better off than where they were, and it's gonna set them on a good path athletically and academically throughout life. If you think you're ready to grow, if you think you're ready to move out of your comfort zone, then come train here at Boost. Because I tell you right now, it's not a place to be comfortable. We're gonna push you. We're gonna help you grow. But if you think you're ready for it, come check us out.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
What's up, everybody? Don't forget, there's 2 Spoiled locations now. I'm at the brand new one right off the 91 freeway at Arlington. You can spoil yourself. You can spoil your car. You come in here, 10 minutes, you're in and you're out. You're back on the road. Go check out Spoiled, local business, locally owned and operated. And they've got location off the 215 freeway at Alessandro. And this one, the brand new one here, off of 91 at Arlington.
I felt spoiled. It was great. I got in easy. I mean, the price was the best. The price is just helped me out. And what I really enjoyed about it is that they explained to me what was going on today. And I feel like when I walked out of here, I just felt so special. I said I had a new boyfriend. His name is Spoiled.
You got your flower.
And I got
And welcome back, everybody. A big thing. Spoiled quick quality oil change off the 215 freeway at Alessandro, off the 91 at Arlington. Also, Kin Sporting Goods. You can get your mask. In fact, I got one right here. One of my Inland Sports masks. At Kin Sporting Goods, that's kinsportinggoods.com. You can get your mask. They got all kinds of stuff. Even I got to give a shout out to Summit High School in Fontana. They had some like shirts or sweaters made and said it was like basically getting ready for winter 2021. Summit High School football is awesome. They got it at Kin's. And also a big shout out to Boost Performance Training. Listen, this might be the off season right now, but there's people out there getting ready for the year. You can do it at Boost Performance Training. Check them out. BoostTrainingSystems.com is the website. Ray Bass is the best. He is Centennial High School royalty, but he will work with all the schools. He came from Centennial, but he works with a lot of different schools across the Inland Empire from all different sports as well. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. A big shout out to our director, Johnny Nunez, here at Teen Vision TV 16. It was another wonderful show behind the scenes. He always does a great job. My name is Pep Fernandez. Be safe, God bless, and we'll see you next Wednesday night. First pitch, 6:05 on the Inland Sports Show.